Hey y'all, welcome back. It is me, BrittReacts, and today we're going to react via a subscriber suggestion. This is craziest courtroom moments of all time. I had to take a deep sigh because I just am like, of all time? All time. Times of all.
This is Scott Nelson, who is facing first-degree murder charges after killing a nanny in Orlando, Florida.
So you committed the worst possible crime.
Nelson was recently released from a 25-year prison sentence for
What?
a bank robbery. After he was let go from his painting job, he decided to plan another robbery. Nelson broke into a house with a knife where a nanny was working as a caregiver. He kidnapped her, threw her in the trunk, and drove to a local ATM so he could withdraw cash. Nelson then drove to a remote location and stabbed her to death before ditching her body and the car, where he was later arrested. On trial, Nelson argued that the government was to blame.
You bought zip ties?
Yes, I did.
You bought duct tape?
That'd be correct.
You bought a knife?
I sure did. I bought that material because I had a plan in mind of how I was going to survive being thrown on the street again for what, the third or was it the fourth time by the government? And you know, you kick a dog enough times, they tend to bite back, and really, they just don't care anymore.
Nelson continues testifying, showing no emotion, and finally admits to the murder.
Somebody was going to pay for how you've been treated.
That is very accurate.
Who killed Jennifer Fulford?
I did.
He took the stand during the penalty phase, and this is what he had to say.
How has your mental health been affected by your previous incarceration?
I am a homicidal maniac.
In the end, Nelson was found guilty of first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison.
That may have been the most real life terrifying thing I've ever seen. I'm saying real life because, like, you know, you watch scripted things in movies, but to see someone that is like a real person, not playing a character, not acting, being so flippant about being a homicidal maniac. I can't even imagine being that woman's family and sitting in the court. We got to move on. We got to move on. We got to move on.
This is John Bun. He spent 27 years wrongfully convicted of murder.
Okay.
I'm an innocent man, Your Honor, and I have always been an innocent man.
While living in Brooklyn, New York, Bun was only 14 years old when he was arrested by NYPD detective Louis Scarcella. Bun later spent 16 years behind bars and then 11 years out on parole, where he still fought to prove his innocence. Then finally, his conviction was overturned based on the wrongdoing of Detective Scarcella and the fact that there wasn't even probable cause to arrest Bun in the first place.
I want y'all to know that y'all convicted and had a wrong man in prison.
And after 27 years of fighting to clear his name, he is finally exonerated.
I want to say thank you, Your Honor, because in 27 years, I've been fighting for my life.
But before he leaves the courtroom, he has a moment with the judge. Bun later filed a lawsuit against the city of New York and Detective Scarcella.
Cash him out. I want to know how much he made. Cash him out. The thing that stuck out the most to me was like his lawyers were clinching onto him. The male lawyer was holding his hand in the most like loving, secure way, and the female was like had her arms wrapped around his elbows. Sometimes that is the deciding factor between a man's freedom and not. It's like a legal team that really believes and stands behind you. That is so awful. That man lost all that time as a child. We're talking about a man. Yeah, he's a man now, but he was a baby. Imagine someone picking up your 14-year-old son and throwing him in jail, and he did nothing. Y'all, I thought I was about to see people like jumping at judges and doing crazy stuff. This is a different type of crazy. My heart, I don't know.
This is Alan McCarti, who was arrested and charged after making death threats to a judge. In a child custody case, a judge ruled against McCarti and took away his children. His erratic behavior towards the judge continued into his court appearances.
My daddy owns the building and I look like a idiot, huh? Brought your dress today, you little prick? You wanna take my kids from me and act like that? You in that? Shut the up! I'm trying to think over here.
After McCarti was found guilty for the original threats made
You
to a
want
judge,
children to
we
be in
now
your
move
care?
on to the sentencing.
Okay.
What a bunch of guys, you stupid piece of then also. You threatened my life, you and the back room. Suck my No, I'm not standing. Not resisting. I'm not resisting. I'm just not standing up.
I'm not resisting. I'm just not standing.
McCarti is
He's
moved
so
to
chill.
another room to
Look at
watch
him.
the court
He
through a
just laid
one-way
back.
glass, and he continues on making a disturbance.
Look at that lady sitting there. I wouldn't sit there.
McCarti was sentenced to 20 years in prison. The judge also issued an additional 10-day sentence due to his actions in the
10
courtroom.
days? 20 years and 10 days. I don't know. I don't know what the crime was he did to get his children taken away from him. But if he was in that amount of trouble for how he acted in the courtroom, not saying it's justifiable, but sometimes people lose their minds over their kids. So maybe he lost his mind. I don't know.
This
crazy,
is
though.
Markeith Lloyd, who was convicted of murdering a police officer in Orlando, Florida.
I'm in a relationship, but somehow I absolutely don't know nothing about. And they framed me.
Lloyd was already on the run from the police after he killed his former girlfriend, who was pregnant with his child. A month later, Lloyd is spotted in a Walmart. You can see him walking in. Moments later, Orlando Police Lieutenant Deborah Clayton pulls in. You can see her grab a cart and walk in. Reportedly, they cross paths every few minutes. Outside the store, Lieutenant Clayton was notified, and she tried to stop and arrest Lloyd when a shootout begun. Lieutenant Clayton was killed during the interaction, being shot 4 times. Following the murder, Lloyd took off again, which led to a 9-day manhunt, where he was later found. During the arrest, he tried to escape, where he lost his left eye in the altercation.
Oh, that's
Here
where
in
the eye
court,
went.
Lloyd took the stand. Reportedly, he believed everyone was out to kill him.
And I was just reacting, Mary. I was just reacting. Even when they opened the door, I just reacted. I fired 2 shots, I just reacted.
The jury then found him guilty.
It really hurts deep down inside.
This is Lieutenant Clayton's sister giving a victim impact statement.
She stood in the place as my mother when I didn't have one. I truly miss my sister. I truly miss her.
And this is the moment that Lloyd hears that the jury unanimously recommends the death sentence.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Markeith Lloyd, should be sentenced to death.
Lloyd seems to mouth something out to the public. A few moments later, Lloyd has an outburst.
You've been trying to kill me. People try to frame me for murder.
All right, why don't we remove Mr. Lloyd from the courtroom?
The judge later agreed with the jury and sent Lloyd to death, where he now sits behind bars waiting for his death sentence.
That was a lot. I guess my one question from that one was, they both went into Walmart. Did she go into... They passed each other multiple times, and then she got the call that he was in the Walmart. Like, was she on duty? That part confused me. It just confused me. All right. Whoa. Okay. Jesus. I watched the first 48 episode yesterday, y'all. I love crime documentaries, and I love documentaries on obese people. They are my guilty pleasure. Judge Your Mom. Like 600-pound lives, 2-ton friends, 1,000-pound sisters. Like, sign me up. This episode, y'all, this family lost a brother to cancer. Then the mother was found unalived in the bathtub. Come to find out, one of her 2 remaining alive sons is the one who did it. And he ran from the cops in 2 separate instances. And the second time they caught up with him, and he got back to the house that he unalived his mother in and unalived himself in the front yard. The one surviving brother lost his brother, his mother, and his other brother in a matter of 2 years. Baby. And they still had so much grace and forgiveness for the brother that did it. They were just like, there's a quote that says, like, you can't judge a man for the last 48 hours of his life, but for his entire being. They were like, he was going through something and yada, yada, yada. It's like, I don't know why I'm bringing all that up, but it's just like what the human nature can dissolve to is so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. Ugh. How you gonna say the government was after you and you had already committed a crime against your pregnant partner and unborn child? Sir, under the jail.
Is Daryl Brooks, who is convicted of killing 6 people and injuring dozens of others after he drove his SUV into a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Reportedly, during his reckless driving, he reached speeds of over 30 miles per hour, and the prosecution argued that his driving rampage was intentional.
He plowed through 68 different people. He kept going until he got to the end, and there was no more bodies to hit. It was intentional.
After Brooks was arrested and charged, Brooks decided to represent himself in court.
That always goes
If you are
well.
allowed to represent yourself in this case, sir, you will not have attorneys assisting you. They're gone from this case. Do you understand that?
I think I will probably be better served representing myself.
Throughout the trial, Brooks was removed multiple times for constant
Look at all the
interruptions
boxes.
and outbursts. It was here that his real personality was shown when he starts to laugh during a witness testimony.
He told Erica that he was gonna find her and he was gonna kill her.
Now, back in the courtroom, Brooks has an outburst as he didn't like how the district attorney pronounced the word defendant.
I would like to provide the defendant and the court.
So that had to be said. The defendant. I got one ear that work, and I heard that.
This is to benefit you,
So
that
it's
you
not.
understand
Ain't none of
your
this to benefit
witness.
me.
And now, Brooks is clearly frustrated. He decides to have a stare down with the judge.
I need to take a break. This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful. He pounded his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared.
The jury quickly found Brooks guilty of
Goodbye,
all
sir.
76 charges
76?
against him,
Round it up
and
to
he was
100.
given 6 life sentences,
Good.
plus more than 700 additional years in prison.
Good.
This
Next.
is Jaleel Smith-Riley in a Cincinnati, Ohio courtroom, who police say confessed to a robbery killing a 20-year-old woman and seriously wounding her boyfriend. Portia Brooks was in her car with her boyfriend Aaron Martin when Smith-Riley came up to her car with 2 others looking to rob them. When Smith-Riley found out Martin didn't have any cash, he was shot in the head, leaving him with permanent brain damage. Smith-Riley then shot at Brooks, which killed her 3 days later.
Lord, go back on with this is what I come up with this.
This is somebody that feels genuine remorse. This is somebody that thinks about this every day, and he knows that he can't go back in time and undo what he did.
Now, Portia Brooks' mother delivers a victim impact statement.
But he killed me mentally, emotionally. He killed my identity as a mother of 3, as a family of 4.
This is now Brooks' sister speaking.
I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
This is moments right before Jaleel Smith-Riley gets the news that he will never be allowed to return home again.
Defendant serve a term of life without parole as to count 4 for the offense of attempted murder.
What did you want for what you did, sir?
This
what
is
would have
Michael
been
Brady,
a proper...
who attempted a prison
You wanna
escape
go home
that
for one day?
resulted in the death of 4 prison workers at Pasquotank Correctional Institution in North Carolina.
Oh, he's terrifying.
I stabbed him like 4 to 8 times. I hit Jeffrey Howe until
He's
he
terrifying.
stopped moving.
He's
I don't know how
terrifying.
many times I hit him with a hammer.
Brady was facing 24 years in prison for an attempted murder conviction after he shot at a North Carolina state trooper. And 4 years into his sentence, Brady and 3 other inmates brutally murdered 4 prison workers with hammers and scissors.
That man.
How did they get a hold of that?
Beat that man, George Midget, like he was trying to bust concrete.
Brady then tried to hop a fence, but then was captured at gunpoint.
It was like a bloodbath. I stepped in between Jeffrey and Wendy, and I slid trying to get in because the whole elevator floor was nothing but blood.
During the trial, the prosecutors argued that Brady was the one who planned the attack and had no remorse for the killings.
We know who originated the plan. We know who led the plan.
After Brady is found guilty, he now takes the stand at his sentencing.
I'm up here to tell the truth. You can ask me anything you want. I'm gonna tell the truth. Whether it hurts me, whether it helps me. I don't care about that.
You don't believe you're crazy, do you?
No, I don't think I'm crazy, no.
And you do know the difference between right and wrong?
Yes.
So you know murder is wrong.
Murder is a different name for a death, but yes.
Your freedom meant more than their lives.
Yes.
And now the judge reads out the jury's recommendation.
Jury unanimously recommending that the defendant be sentenced to death.
Brady seems completely emotionless, and the judge later agrees on the death penalty, where he now sits locked up in Colorado.
How did they get access to scissors and hammers? I mean, the smile is enough to give me nightmares for days and days and days and weeks and weeks and weeks. Jesus.
Awaiting his death sentence. This is Franklin Williams, who is convicted of multiple felonies, including armed robberies and fleeing police in Cleveland, Ohio.
Again, I'm going to interrupt. Mr. Williams, listen to me. I'm going to gag you in 1 second.
Williams conducted 3 armed robberies before leading police on a high-speed chase. He was later arrested and convicted. Now, at his sentencing, Williams would not stop talking, despite more than a dozen warnings from the judge.
That means zip it right now. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. That's a violation of the HIPAA law, Judge.
Here we go.
This resulted in the judge ordering Williams' mouth to be taped shut.
If you spit on, attempt to bite, or injure any of my deputies, you're going to have a bad day.
I didn't even know that was legal. Imagine that coming off that facial hair. Yeah, that'll shut him up. Yikes. Can you do that? All right. I mean, you could have just shut up.
You're going to have a bad day.
That's what it is.
At a following court appearance, Williams has something to share with the judge and cameras.
Freedom of speech, no duct tape. With the hashtag.
Aside from all the interruptions, the judge can hand down Williams' sentence.
You faced a potential maximum consecutive sentence of 134 years.
You about to get it.
I ordered a 24-year sentence.
After Williams received a 24-year prison sentence, the judge later apologized for the duct tape and threw out that sentence. He then appointed a new judge, where she sentenced him to 33 years behind bars. This is Martz Abram, who is convicted on 2 counts of murder for the killings of 2 Walmart employees in South Haven, Mississippi. Abram had worked at the Walmart but was faced with a suspension after he apparently had a knife on him in the store. The day he was suspended, he returned to the store with multiple weapons and opened fire, killing store managers Anthony Brown and Brandon Gales.
He was laying on the ground with his eyes open, and I ran up to him and I looked at him. I said, Anthony, honey, please say KC one more time.
He also shot an officer who survived due to his bulletproof vest.
Once I got out of my vehicle, I heard gunshots and I felt the pressure of the bullet hit my back.
He was arrested on site.
that was the
now
officer.
in court, Abram admits to all crimes.
That's you, isn't it, sir?
Yes.
Look at it, please, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Gale is on the floor going down at this point, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, and that's you shooting him, right?
Yes.
Look at the screen, sir.
Yes.
That's you shooting him?
Yes.
And you admit that you shot him in cold blood?
Yes.
You shot him again, didn't you?
Yes.
After that, you went back to the toilet paper aisle, didn't you?
Not the toilet paper aisle.
Yes.
This is one of the victim's wife delivering a victim impact.
Was that an act or was I mean, he was, did they find him healthy enough to withstand trial? Because that didn't, I don't know. I also didn't expect that to be his yes, childlike demeanor. If that wasn't an act, I don't know. All right, Jesus.
Statement.
You took Anthony from me on the exact day, 20 years earlier, that we had our first date.
And now this is when the judge will decide Abram's fate.
In count 1, I will sentence you to death. Count 2, you will be sentenced to death. In count 3, you will be sentenced to life in the penitentiary.
As Abram hears that he will be receiving the death
not just
penalty,
make it 3
he
for 3?
stands silently, where he now sits on death row awaiting his execution.
Wow.
This is Erica Butts and Shanita Cunningham. They were both charged with homicide by child abuse in Somerville,
Not
South
us on the
Carolina.
floor.
Butts, who was best friends with the child's mother, was supposed to be caring for the toddler for 2 weeks. The child was only 3 years old. She died from her injuries, reflecting
All I need to know. Next. Next. This case don't even matter. Next. And y'all falling out on the floor looking like toddlers.
Weeks of torture, a time frame that matched the time she had spent with Butts and her lover at the time, Cunningham.
What must have been the excruciating sounds that came from that child is more than disconcerting to this court.
After both women were found guilty, the judge now hands down their sentence.
The court finds it appropriate that each be sentenced to the State Department of Corrections for a period of life.
They were just sentenced to life in prison.
Go sit with that. Because what's that gonna do? What's that gonna do
Butts
for you,
and
Erica?
Cunningham are reportedly at separate prisons serving their life sentences.
Good. Next.
This
Trash.
is Keith Ferguson from Calcasas.
Another scary one. Look at those eyes. There's nothing in his eyes.
Felony counts,
No
including
soul.
kidnapping and murder. Ferguson, who was 40 at the time, was engaged in a divorce argument with his wife, Tiffany Ferguson, when he began to suddenly beat her, followed by fatally shooting her in front of their 4 children. He then hauled the children over to Tiffany's parents' house, where he fatally shot his father-in-law. After fleeing the scene, Ferguson stormed a nearby house, taking the owner hostage, and barricaded himself inside the home. After a 7-hour standoff, Ferguson was arrested.
The defendant has already murdered multiple people and fled and has taken hostages.
Is he sleeping?
During Ferguson's court appearance,
Is he
his
asleep?
attitude and remorse towards the situation baffled everyone.
All right, Mr. Ferguson, can I get you to stand up there at the podium, please? All right, I need to have you raise your right hand for me. Okay, all right.
Pull me back my
Okay, stop.
At his sentencing, Tiffany's best friend gives a victim impact statement, saying she always felt that Keith would hurt his wife.
I knew one day he would kill her. She was always.
He's looking right at her.
He loves his kids too much. He won't kill me. He loved them so much, he murdered their mother and grandfather.
When asked
In
about his
front
children,
of them.
Ferguson never desired to see or speak to them again. The judge responded by saying,
You may not meet the clinical definition of insanity.
But you are insane.
But there's clearly something fundamentally wrong with you.
Ferguson was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
I see y'all in hell.
He should have been given 4 life sentences as far as I'm concerned, one for each child that he traumatized and ruined their lives. I can't watch 38 minutes of this. If y'all want the part 2, I'll watch it. Let me know in the comments. That is just, I mean, that's the lower half. Like, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Y'all worried about robots and AI. We should be worried about humanity, is what I got to say. All right, talk to me down below in the comments again. Let me know if you want me to do part 2. I'm happy to skip and find some, like, I thought we were gonna have funny court moments, like people just being, you know, unhinged, not demonic. Man, they all have the days they deserve on death row. Bye, y'all.